Guys, and welcome to another trading week. We're going to be going through the charts with you guys as usual. Now, last week was not it didn't quite go the way we anticipated that it would play out, right? Price didn't push up to where we wanted it to push up to. Instead, price just pushed up a little and began to drop. Now we were trying to catch some buys, right, towards the close of the week. I'm still in on one buy I took on Friday, right? But looking at the way price is forming, I was really hoping the price would push higher. But looking at the way price is forming, it's like it's going to actually end up dropping. But let's see. So let's look at the charts, and I'm going to try to be very fast with this, but I want you guys to follow me carefully because I'm going to show you guys some things on the chart. So we're going to do the top-down analysis, right? And what I'm going to show you here is quite interesting, so make sure you watch this video to the end. So let's start from the monthly. Now, looking at the monthly, we know that definitely gold is still bullish on the monthly, right? Even though we can see these bearish candles that are dropping, but gold is still bullish on the monthly, and the reason for that is because the current low that you can consider as the low of the monthly chart is right here at 2,530. All right, and that's the current low, right? So, and this is the high. So before gold can become bearish on the monthly, it needs to take out this level 2,530. That's the first thing we need to take into consideration. So even if price drops down to 4,000, 3,000, gold is still going to be very bullish on the monthly, right? Which, looking at what I'm seeing now, I think I actually said this some time ago that gold is going to drop to 4,000 and probably even 3,000. So looking at what I'm seeing here, gold might actually drop to 3,000 sometime in the future. So let's go to the weekly. Now looking at the weekly, gold is also bearish. It's looking bearish on the weekly because the previous low before was right here. All right, so I'm trying fast. I don't want to. Was right here now, and the high is right here. Okay, so as you can see, it came down, tried to take this, it didn't take it, it went up, and that's why in the month of March, sometime around here, I was really hoping the price would push higher and just sweep this level before dropping, but instead price just dropped, which I understood. We actually cut this buys. If you go watch our previous videos, we cut this buys, right? I mean, sorry, these sells, right? So we cut the sells from right there. But anyway, so like I said, it came down and then took this low. So that means gold now is bearish on the weekly, right? So what do we now have here going on? So looking at what we have here, we can say that there's a possibility for gold to still drop lower. Look, and as you can see, we can see this drop going now. Gold could actually drop lower down into this current low, but it might take it out or it might not take it out. So there are two things we could see happen. Gold will drop down to this point and probably sweep it, and once it sweeps it right around 4,000, it's going to go back up close to around 5,000 before it gives us another major drop again. Or gold could just come down and not sweep it, so it might respect it, right, and not break it, and then go back up close to around 4,800 before we start seeing another drop again, or probably even sweep it before we see another drop again before it will break it down to 4,000, right? So that's those are the kind of things we should be looking out for right now. So how do we now get in on any of these trades now in this new week? I think before the month, in the month of May, I think the month of May is going to close red, but I think June is going to be kind of like bullish. So in this last week, we might see a massive drop downwards, right? And then in the month of June, we might see another slight drop and then a push back up, possible, right? So, but let's just see how it goes. So in this new week, the first thing we can do is to mark up this 50% fib of this current week, which is just right here. It's quite small, so we've marked it for you. That's where it is right here, 4524 level, right? So we're going to be looking at that level, and we're going to also be looking at the second level right there. So but majorly it's first level, right? So let's go down to the daily. Let's see what things are looking like there. So now on the daily, we can see that on the daily, gold is still looking bearish, right? So this is the 50% fib that we marked out. On the daily, we can see here that this last candle that closed bearish, right, is giving us the indication that gold could actually dip a little bit lower. But like I said, gold could do whatever it likes, and this could dip as low down to as low as this level right here. All right, so it's something we need to take into recognition, right? So but let's go to the 4-hour. Let's see what things are looking like there. So looking at the 4-hour, we can still see the same thing, that gold is still very much bearish. But another thing again that could also happen is that gold could go a bit, could actually push up higher. But for gold to push up higher, then we're going to be looking for a break right above this entire consolidation, right? Come down, retest somewhere around there, and then continue up. So we could look for something of this nature if we want to buy. So until price breaks through this entire region completely, before we could start looking for buy. So if this entire region isn't broken upwards, we can't look for buys. All right, we can't look for buys. But if this region gets broken, then we could look for buys upwards. Like you can see, this is a trend line right there that we marked on the 1-hour time frame. So if we see a break above, then we could take our buys upward. But if we don't see a break above, then we can't go in for buys. We'll still stick to looking for sells. Let's go to the 1-hour. Normally I don't like going to the 1-hour but in this analysis, but let's just do it. So there's not really much to say, still the same thing. So like I said, before we could look for buys, we have to wait for price to break through this entire range before we can look for buys, right? So if price breaks it, then we could look for buys, but if price doesn't break it, then we're going to stick to looking for sells. So there's a possibility for us to look for sells within that range, or probably price could, like I said, go up a little bit to just take liquidity and then start to drop. So we could see something of this nature, and then price will start to drop, right? So if we see something of that nature happen, then that's not bad. Price could actually dip lower from there, but I'm going to be majorly looking for sells, right? I'm in on the buy, like I already said. I'm in on the buy from Friday, but let's see how everything goes. But I think gold is actually going to drop. So but if we break higher, then probably I'll look for buys as well, but majorly sells. That's what I'm going to be looking out for, guys. So make sure, I do hope you have a wonderful trading week. So that's it, guys. Peace out, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Bye.